Well, hello everybody, welcome back to Only Leeds Bros for your QPR Match Build-up. We're joined by Sean from WilksoWhites. Sean, how are you, buddy?
I'm alright, I'm doing well, are you?
All good, yeah. Nice early one this morning. Obviously, we didn't get one in for QPR. Dylan being busy on Not Another Leeds podcast, and then he did his own bit last night, and I was flying home from Spain, so a very late match build-up, but we're here anyway, and Danny's here as usual. Yeah, so boys, I think we'll crack straight into the news that's been released this morning. That's obviously caught us all by surprise. Junior Firpo is out for 3 games. Danny straight on it.
He's just so consistent every time.
Everything, honestly. Yeah.
Throws a straight into the mix.
Yeah, 3-match ban. He's obviously going to be missing for today, and then we've got the international break for 2 weeks, so Junior Firpo will get a nice little rest into his legs. Not really sure what happened, the incident. Danny might know a little bit more. Some people are saying a headbutt, or other people are saying a stamp. But a massive miss. Sean, I'll put it to you first. What do you think of the situation with Firpo?
Well, they were already booked, weren't they?
Yeah.
So I don't know whether he's got a straight red for that, or he's got another yellow card, and that's resulted in. But that would only be a 1-match ban, wouldn't it?
It'll only be a 1-match ban, but
there's got to be a straight red then, isn't it, after the game?
The club's official statement said it wasn't picked up by match officials, and then the FA went back on footage. So to me, it sounds like it must have been reported by Millwall. It must have been a bad one, and then they've obviously gone back and looked for it. So it sounded like it wasn't picked up by match officials. Like there wasn't a yellow or a red card. It's only that.
Really, not really. Well, Danny's saying headbutt. Okay.
Danny's saying headbutt. Yeah.
Right, fair enough. But I've not ever.
Ref hasn't seen it. Was seen on video. Yeah, that's what it looks like. So I don't know. I've never heard of it. Have you ever heard of this before? Like I obviously know a lot of things go off the ball and reported kind of afterwards. Have any of you ever heard this like situation where something's reported and the FA? Yeah. I think it's a strange one.
First time for Leeds United.
Maybe in the Premier League because with VAR and stuff like that, but very strange one in the Championship, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
There's another agenda by the EFL how to get Leeds, I think. That's what will be circling around X now. Everyone will be saying that they're out to get us. Dylan, we put it to you. What do you think?
I would have been down the tunnel though or somewhere, but in the dressing room.
Doesn't look like it. Looked like it was on the pitch. Looked like it was in our box.
Nah,
the footage that I seen it. It's 95th minute.
So it was during the game, during the match itself.
It looks like it was literally just at the end. So whether it was pure frustration with Firpo, whether words were exchanged, for me he shouldn't be lashing out. That's just pure petulance, that lads, isn't it? Like he shouldn't be doing that.
Like it was just straight after the final whistle, then that.
Yeah.
Sounds. There were only 4 minutes injury time played.
There was only 4 minutes. Yeah. Well, it said the 95th minute in the club official statement.
Right. Well,
the video that's circling online, very, very poor quality. But you can see something happened and the Millwall player goes down. It's very, very hard to make out that it's even Firpo, to be honest with you. You can't even see if it's a headbutt or a stamp, but something definitely went on. And it's obviously that Millwall have gone in and reported it to match officials directly after the game or something, because it's very, very strange that the officials didn't pick it up and then the FA then are looking at the footage. And it must be something serious to hand them down a 3-match ban. It must be something serious enough, you know. It must have been worthy of a straight red card. I know you're saying that he's only... Go ahead, though.
There was a kind of a confrontation between a fan and Solomon as well, if you remember. He went to get the ball and then he was
you're gonna get that at Millwall though as well, aren't you? Though, in fairness, like you're gonna get that. For me, that was just pure petulance from Firpo. We have seen it a little bit in his game over the years that we've seen him here at Leeds United, that he has got that silly foul, silly yellow cards, but yeah, for me it's pure stupidity. I know it's probably in the heat at the moment and it's easy saying that, but you know, lashing out like that, now you're out for 3 games, like I'm sure it's going to be hurting him, but what do we reckon then today? Is it Byram back in? Do you think he's going to give Smith his chance? What do you reckon, Bill?
I'd say Byram. It'd have to be. Byram made 2 great 90-minute appearances. At one stage, I think me and you agreed it was man of match for one of them. So yeah, I think Byram. But I would like to see Schmidt come on at one stage.
It means he's a little bit closer now, because obviously we know Byram's, we keep saying injury record, but his injury record has improved massively since he's came back to Leeds United, which is fair dues to him. Where he was in his career before he came back to Leeds, it just seemed like his career was on a knife edge and it wasn't going to be too long before it was ended, but he's came back, he's really worked on his fitness and his injury worry. So delighted to see that Byram's back in and he's firing all guns for us. But at least now, obviously, we have the international break, so it's not going to be 3 continuous games for Byram. So that might be a little bit of a shining light for us, and that's probably like saying every cloud. But at least then we've got 2 weeks then, kind of rest and recovery with the players. I know a lot of them are going to be going off now in international duty as well, but at least for Byram. But it could also mean that maybe Smith's a little bit closer then to getting a couple of minutes if that does happen to Byram. We're going to know a little bit more.
I think Byron were unlucky to be dropped anyway because he's been playing well past couple of games that he's been in. And obviously Bogle came straight back in, so I think he was unlucky, but he's definitely going to be Byram. But like you said, I'd like to see Schmidt, but I'm going off the comments that Farker said about him. Is he not doing well in training or something like that?
So that's what he
really...
first of all said. He was injuries, he couple of illnesses and niggles, and then he was talking about like the physicality, and he just hasn't basically kind of said that he hadn't been doing it in training. So obviously a lot of us were saying, what is the story with Smith? Yeah, but look, that's it. If he's right, lads. If he isn't doing it in training, like that, we've seen Chambers and Crew coming on there. Obviously, are busting a gut to get into the team. They obviously have that little bit between their teeth. If he doesn't have it, when a Farker's every right not to put him in the squad if he feels like he's not giving 100%.
Yeah, that's true. And we don't see that, do we? We don't see training and all like that. So we just have to trust Daniel Farker's judgment.
We'll you over here, Sean, so we don't covering your face there. So Matty from Imagine Up in Lee said, haven't seen what happened, but it's total lack of professionalism on Junior's part. 100% agree with that. To lose to Millwall is one thing, but to have players losing the head and resulting in a ban is just not good enough. And I totally agree with that. I think that's where I'm coming from as well. That it's just not good enough, isn't it? Especially
it's wrong
from the likes of Fairport now, that is seeing that he's kind of a fan favourite now. We've kind of left that all Junior behind, but he does have this in his locker still somewhere to kind of do something stupid like this, doesn't he?
Did see that though in the last game. Again, he was doing silly fouls, wasn't he, Junior Fairport? He was losing his head a little bit during the game as well. So obviously that boiled over after the game as well. Yeah,
it's boiled over as well. So it looks like Byram's going to be back in at the back. As I said, hopefully it isn't too long before we see Smith, because I do kind of want to see him get a couple of minutes. I know obviously Farkas has touched on it and said that he isn't doing it in training, but it's just nice that we do have that little bit of cover there, because I'd be very worried if for these 3 games Fairpo is out and we just have Byram as cover, at least there's something there. And Danny's mentioned in the comments as well that Vorber can play left back as well. Obviously we haven't seen much of him as well, so
it's like striking as well, isn't it? If needs be, I know.
If needs be, I don't think he's going to pull strike out centre half because he's doing really well there. So interesting one to see. But this is what we've obviously spoke about, the squad that we've had, and you were on with Sean when we talked about that. We're not just reliant now on 1 or 2 players anymore, that it's the whole squad to fill in there. I know Fairpo, not denying that he's going to be a massive miss, he is, because he gives us something totally different down that left hand side. But it's just really comforting to know that we do have people that can fill in, the likes of Byram. We can get Smith. Like, it's not that we're kind of left, so cold with our kind of pants down and we've nothing there to cover. So I suppose that's the only shining light, that we do have the squad there that can fill in situations like this. What do you think, Dillo?
He's his only left-footed player as well.
Yeah.
And I think Joe were on about that, and I mentioned it in my last video about that width, getting to the touchline and byline and getting that ball in. And Firpo's the only player really who can do that. I mean, we've got Bogle on the other side, so maybe we're going to see a lot more at ball going down the right hand side in today's game.
What did you make of, speaking about Bogle, what did you make of Bogle's performance against Millwall? Because I was expecting a bit more, especially with him being out and the match suspended. I thought might have been good from, just like that little rest and recovery in the legs and then back in. I thought he wasn't great. He dropped his levels again, didn't he, Bogle?
Definitely dropped his levels.
I didn't really notice it, to be honest, but now people are saying it. I'm thinking, maybe so. He didn't really want to get forward as much as he normally did.
That's what I've noticed. It was like the Chambers on him a little bit, where he is. We've seen him at Sheffield United. He's always one to kind of get forward. It didn't see him at that Millwall. He didn't see him 100%.
I think Sheffield United was definitely his, for what I remember, probably his game of the season so far. I think he was phenomenal against Sheffield.
Yeah, he was very good against Sheffield United.
Sheffield Wednesday and Sheffield United.
He's like he had a point to prove against both of them, didn't he?
Yeah, definitely. But he definitely did. Going back to what Sean said there, because people were talking about it, it just kind of made me realise a little bit of, I can't remember really much about him during the game, so he didn't really pop up for me.
Yeah.
Well, look,
I don't think it were overly bad, but
No, he wasn't horrendous. So just kind of the standard that he set, because obviously he was poor when he first came in, and then he brought his levels up and he kind of set a standard. And I don't know. I think I was expecting it a little bit more. I think I said it as well in the build up that Bogle is back, so I was expecting a little bit more from him. I just thought his output, the usual kind of getting forward, the overlaps, creating space. He wasn't doing it at all, and just definitely one side of the game that I do have to give his flowers for. His defending has improved immensely since he's came to Leeds, and that's probably one side that Daniel Farke has looked to improve his game. There's a lot of Leeds fans at the moment sticking the boot in on Daniel Farke, but there's one thing I do have to say to him: he does improve players, and he does improve on players' weakness. And you can see that from Bogle, that his defending has really, really came up. He knows that he can get forward. He knows he can do it. But we were all very worried about going the other way. What can he do? And there's one thing I do have to say about Bogle. I think his performance defending-wise has really, really improved. So I'm expecting him to pick it up today, especially against QPR. 23rd in the table, to have a 1-5. Are we expecting it to be another Plymouth? Do you think it's going to be plain sailing, or do you think Millwall during the week might just play on the player's mind a little bit? What do you think, Dill?
I think he's going to be it's going to be a cagey game again, but I think Leeds will dominate most of the possession, most shots, passes, etc. Considering the lineup and who starts, is it at times there's a question to be had there about the Joseph and Piero situation, but then also seeing a lot of on X saying Solomon. So is there a possibility that Solomon could
well, we're obviously going to get into it, the whole shake-up, what we going to think of the squad as a whole, but do you think Leeds will do it? Do you think it will be plain sailing like Plymouth, or do you think that we could be on one of them little runs where we're not kicking for us?
I'd say 3-0, if I'm being honest. Yeah, 3-0. I'm going with me go. Just near by Millwall. Millwall was just, it's a hard place to go to. I think we'll do it against QPR, lads. I think everyone's jumping the gun, everyone's panicking. To be right here, don't get me wrong, because as Joe and Jerry said, people are making excuses, or there's been excuses in the past. But the two games, Burnley and Millwall, were very similar. There was no difference. We dominated possession, shots, etc. And they get one lucky chance to go well. Considering Burnley, Solomon slipped, he went up, defence was all over the place and scored a goal. And then, as of that, you said it, Darren, the set pieces for Millwall. We weren't, I don't know if it was you that said it or someone else that said it. It was kind of like Leeds went in there knowing that they were good at set pieces.
Yeah, just being naive. I think it was Jared that said it, and put it to Sean, to you. We'll obviously touch on Millwall a little bit, but I thought it was very naive. I don't think any of us were surprised the way Millwall played, and it seems to be every time Leeds United lose, it's against these same kind of sides that they kind of
frustrate us.
Frustrate us, hard to break them down, and then they'll nick a goal like that, whether it's a lucky one or a set piece or something like that. But I wasn't surprised by the way Millwall played. What worries me more is that Leeds didn't counteract that, and we were all saying as fans, so how Leeds didn't counteract that, knowing that this is the way they were going to play.
That's the thing that I'm talking about plan B. There's never a plan B when it comes to Farke.
And it was put to Daniel Farke in his match build-up for QPR. He was asked by Adam Pope from the BBC. There's obviously a lot of word online. He said, Daniel, about Leeds winning ugly and wanting to see that side of the game. Do you think that you could kind of change it and kind of win ugly? And he kind of just turned around and said that that's not his playing style. He's never going to go 4-4-2 and lump it long and play that way, and I don't think he ever will. But there's in-game management, so I don't necessarily agree with him with that. And a good manager is flexible. Yeah, have your philosophy and have what you believe in, the way football should be played. But when you're up against an opposition like Millwall and any other team in this division, that you have to tweak it and you have to change it. If Millwall are going to play that way, well, then you have to counteract that. When you have the ball in your possession, you play the way you want to play. But defending wise, I thought we should have been a lot better against Millwall, especially against the like of QPR. I know it's tough. He's 25 foot, this QPR lad. How he was getting up, kind of fairly unchallenged. I know you're not going to win it, but for me, it didn't feel like there was enough pressure on him to even put him off from winning the header. It was fairly kind of simple, one back across, and then strike switches off then as well. So it kind of seems to be this. We seem to be losing the same way all the time, don't we? And that's what's kind of the worrying thing for me, is that it's the same kind of results. It's not like a team are coming and absolutely playing us off the park and playing really, really good football. It always seems to be the same way, that we're losing against these kind of so-called championship bastards, that they can't But we can't, come up against it. Sean, what do you think?
This is what frustrates me about Daniel Farke, and I think a lot of fans are frustrated because he's stubborn in his ways. And this is my problem with him. If we go up into the Premiership, into the Premier League, sorry, it's
worrying, isn't it?
It's worrying. And when we got promoted with Bielsa, we didn't have this worry.
No.
Did we?
No.
That's the worry because he won't change his ways. Now, we're not saying go 4-4-2 and lump it up front.
Yeah, we're not saying that at all. Yeah.
We're not saying that at all. But there's levels that we need to get to, and it's tempo's massive. And we talk about breaking down a low block, and you do it by tempo, and you do it by just trying slightly little different things. And like I said on my video, maybe just us dropping a bit deeper. We did it early in the season. I can't remember who it were against, and it worked. And he's not trying these things. That's the frustrating thing about it. Is just lumping players on. All the formation and structure just goes, and he's hoping for the best. And for me, that's not a quality manager. Quality manager's got 2 or 3 different strategies. Daniel Farke only seems to have one. And if that don't work, he looks lost sometimes. Yeah. You can see that by his substitutions. But like I say, he is the best man at the minute to get us out of this league. But going further than that, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I agree with that. It definitely is the long-term question over Daniel Farke will always kind of remain because we've seen what he done with Norwich in the Premiership, and people say that he hadn't been back the next one there. But exactly what you said, Sean, every good manager has their plan, not plan A, B, and C, but where he can tweak it and change. And I think he kind of misread Adam Pope's question to him, where he was kind of saying, "Oh, can you go 4-4-2 and go back to kind of, the ancient kind of days?" He wasn't asked that, but like that, just to tweak it against the sides where you play to nullify their strengths. And Leeds didn't do that, and that's what frustrates me a lot, is because it seems to be the same that we all know when we're looking at the oppositions. We know that they've quick wingers or the lump balls in the box and they're going to be hard to break down, and we can all see that. So how can't he, as Leeds United manager, see that as well? And that's what worries me a little bit more.
Even like a change of formation. I keep going on about 3-5-2. And playing with the wing backs and just spread just make the pitch wider, and that's how you get round. That's how you get round them, and he won't even try that. I mean,
he went to 4-2-4, wasn't it?
First season friendly.
It looked like a 4. I don't know what it was. It was just everyone just on the pitch. It looked like a 4-2-4, but it could have. Again, what you said, Sean, nail on the head. That's no tactical now. That's just throwing players on the pitch. That's Sunday league stuff. Like our manager at juvenile level used to do that. Used to go, "Go on, lads, get on there. Try and get yourself a goal." And you're just everyone's playing everywhere. But to me, it causes more chaos. And it seems like it just happened once when we were 2-0 down at Norwich last season, and he just went gung ho, and it worked once. And it seems like now he feels like in his head that any time that we're up against it or we're losing, it's just like throw all these players on the pitch and let's see what happens. They all seem to all be on top of each other, cause more chaos than what it actually should have. So,
who else agree with you? Standing for it, and that's Jesse Marsh and Jesse Marsh with the exact same. Just caused chaos, and he got slammed for that. But,
yeah, I agree. The odd time when you're really, really up against it like that, you really need a point there to win the game. The odd occasion, if you need to throw everyone on and let's just go home and let's see what happens, fine, fair enough. But it shouldn't be every single time we're losing or drawing a match that we're doing the exact same thing. There has to be some sort of tactical nous to change it up a little bit. And this kind of brings me on to today. Do you think there's going to be much shake up in the squad today? Like, Rotwell and Tanaka's performance dropped a little bit away at Millwall to me. Not surprising at all, because that's not really their game. The both of them to kind of dig in and play the dirty side of the game. They're more kind of technical, better players than the Millwall side, but just didn't really get the grips in the game at all. Do you think there's a show for Gilliff Ogie to come in today to start, or you think he'll leave it with Rotwell and Tanaka in the middle?
I think it'll be the same team apart from Byram coming in now.
Do you think so?
I don't think he's going to change it, and I think he'll do it just to prove a point as well with Daniel Farke. And I think I can't see any other changes apart from Byram now.
Would you personally? Would you make any changes?
Maybe I'd maybe like to see Nonto in the 10 and bring Solomon in.
Yeah, be nice, wouldn't it? That, yeah.
That's what I'd like to see. But obviously, then if you take Aronson out, and I've said it before, then you've got to bring Joseph in.
You have to, yeah.
But I just can't see Daniel Farke doing that. But that's what I'd like to see. Maybe I put Nonto in the 10 and bring Solomon, because he is improving a little bit. It's just driving me mad how we're just cutting in all the time, and it's like we're trying to do just cutting in and getting out on a strong foot, and then scoring a great goal. You know, it's
a little bit predictable, isn't it? They'll predict because I thought when he went to the left hand side, he was obviously very good in the Premier League from us coming in off the left hand side. But like you said, Sean, that it's what Nanto seems to be trying to do, is just come in on that right foot all the time. And to me, then it's narrowing the space. There's nothing. Then every time he cuts in on the right foot, it's too close. Where I thought we looked a lot better against Plymouth when we had a little bit of width. We were trying to get the ball in the box towards Pirro. If we are going to start Pirro today, which I do think he will, because it's that lesser opposition. If Pirro doesn't perform today, I do think Joseph will be back in after the international break. But if we are going to start Pirro today, I think we got to be getting wide as possible and putting balls in the box where he can create, because it doesn't seem to be working again. The same thing at Millwall, he was dropping a little bit deep as well, trying to get him to be the creator, and it's not him, isn't it, not lads? It's just it ruins the whole balance of the side. For him, he doesn't play well, and Leeds don't play well either. Dilo, what do you think?
Yeah, definitely. You need to get the crosses into the box early, you know. It needs to be all guns blazing within the first 20 minutes, lads. You know, especially when you have Pirro starting, you need him to be getting goals early to kind of finish the game off. But when you're
go on, sorry.
When you're 0-0 and it's, you know, whatever, the 70th minute, just say, for example, you know, and it's a bit late bringing Joseph on to kind of wear the defenders down. Do you know what I mean? So back to what you said, it's picking Joseph and Pirro for the right moments and for the right games. But I think 70 minutes is a bit too late. I think it's very hard for a player to get into the game that long. Don't get me wrong, it can be done, but just for me, I think it's a bit late. But then as well as that, going back to what we were saying, if Leeds are trailing a game, 70 minutes, no point in just chucking a load of attackers on and hoping for the best. There needs to be a solid foundation, because when Farke's ball works well, when we're winning 3-0, fair enough, I think we can all agree as fans, like, if we're winning 3-0 up in the first half and they come out, at least kind of, you know, shield away, don't go for the fourth. It does get boring, but look, we're winning at the end of the day. But that's kind of a plan in place. Once we're winning, we can all see that. Once we're 3-0 up, he kind of holds it off and just get over the line, lads. Don't be overkilling yourself. To a certain degree, I agree, but when we're losing, you know, he's the manager. He should find some sort of solution, as opposed to bringing Bamford on and expecting him to score a world-class goal again. Do you know what I mean?
Moving on to it. Sean, what's your thoughts today? Do you think Pirro or Joseph, who would you be backing today to start?
I think Pirro will start. But I don't know. I think Pirro will start. I think Joseph are probably better starting when we're away from home.
Yeah.
That's why I think Pirro will start at home, because I think it's different when we're at home. There's not. Yeah. This is what I'm saying. We've got the players to change things up, and he doesn't seem to want to do it. But I'm confident today.
Yeah,
you know, even if it's the same team, barring Byram, I'm confident we're going to get the win today. I mean, I'm looking at QPR, that they've had some good draws against Sunderland and Burnley.
Burnley, yeah.
I mean, Burnley had 75% possession against QPR when they played them, but QPR came away with a 0-0. So
don't say they do that today, Sean.
That's the slight worry. But looking at the league table, you're thinking it should be another Plymouth 3-0.
Yeah.
And I've said 3-0. But they can dig in and be a bit dogged, a bit like Millwall. So the worry is there, but I can't see it myself. I can't see it. I think it'll be an easy 3 points.
Yeah, we should have well too much from on paper, and again, it's not played on paper, but we should have well too much. Look what you said, Sean. Even if he does go with the same team again and Byram to fill in, there should be more than enough quality in that squad to be beating QPR today.
Oh, definitely.
I am confident 100%. I do think we will beat them today. I just hope that Daniel Farke doesn't take the foot off the gas when we go 2-3-0 up. I just want to see us go gun ho, like go for the juggler. And it's one thing that I think we're all kind of shouting out now for Leeds fans is we know we have we've seen it at times, you know, we've seen it against Huddersfield last season, we've seen it against Norwich in the playoffs as well. And I think it's more frustrating. We know we can't do it. It's just why can't we do it more consistently? Like if we could play like that all the time, high tempo, moving the ball quick, we're absolutely unbeatable in this division. But there's times where it just seems like the game plan where it is to bring it all down and, you know, kind of back side to side, keep the ball for a few minutes. And I think that's kind of just kills it a little bit more when it is kind of free flowing and he gets the game going. We look so much more better. And especially for the players like Nanto, your Ramazani, your Solomons, all them want the ball played quick. Dan James, when we don't do that and we slow it down, it kills their game as well. So I'm really, really hoping that it's one of them games today, and it should be against QPR. We should have well too much. I just hope we go out and put in a good performance as well, get a good result, so every week we can kind of just put Millwall in the past and move on from it. Dillo, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's just after the situation at Millwall that people are going to start kind of shielding away and start to worry. But I have to agree with you there. It would be nice to see coming out in the second half, you know. I'm not sorry, not the second half. Like if we were winning, whatever, 1-0, 2-0, that he doesn't take the foot off the gas. It needs to. These players need to express themselves, and it'd be just nice to just hammer a team like 5-6-0, just to prove a point to the league, prove a point to ourselves, and to each individual player. Like we're not here to mess around this year. We're gonna.
Today should be another opportunity, shouldn't it? That exactly like Plymouth. That when we're winning like that 3-0, the game's home and home, we can bring on again the likes of the Crew and the Chambers and gradually start building their minutes. The Gilavogies, you know, players like this, even get James or Joseph on as well, see if Joseph can nick a goal as well. I just hope the tempo isn't dead when he's bringing these players on, because that's what it felt against Plymouth, is that the game died and then he decided to make the changes where we could all see it gradually. Leeds were taking the foot off the gas. And then he makes the change then when the game is kind of dead, and it's hard then for these players to kind of bring it back up. And that's what I hope. I hope the game is kind of free flowing. We're winning 3-0. He brings on the Crew, the Chambers, Gilavogies, whoever it may be, and it kind of keeps that tempo there and give them players that opportunity. Even a Smith, no, he's not performing in training, but if you are winning 3-0 today, what's the harm of bringing him on? You know, let's have a look at him. Let's see what he can do.
It's bringing the confidence up in these young lads as well. You know what I mean? When we are genuinely trailing a game or
and we need them.
Injuries or suspension, and they need to come on and prove a point. At least we can turn around and go, you know, Chambers done great against QPR. Schmidt had a great assist against QPR. You know, just something
that everyone's push it, isn't it? That everyone's confident. Yeah, agree with that.
That's the frustration, though. I mean, you talk about Gilavogi, he's a big lad, isn't he?
Yeah.
Why didn't you throw him on against Millwall as well?
Yeah.
Just to mix it up a little bit in the box, especially off set pieces.
Especially off set pieces, yeah. And having 12 corners we had against Millwall hasn't done nothing with them. The corners and the set pieces, lads, for Leeds have just been horrendous. Improved a little bit after Sheffield United. After we got the goal, we looked a little bit more threatening, but the other night, it looked like we were never going to score. We could have had 90 corners in that game. It just looked like we were never ever going to put one in the net, did it?
Right, well done. But like, you know, you said his performance dropped a bit. Definitely put his corners were dirt.
Yeah.
I have to be honest, lads, they were dirt. There was one day he did put in kind of short. I was rode on, was it?
I don't mind them mixing up, but when you are putting that ball into the middle of the box, like it drives me mad when they're hitting the first man, and not even the first man, they're hitting like the 6-yard box. It's like, what's the point of bringing up your centre halves if you're gonna smash a ball into the front post? Like, get the ball into the box. And they don't mind switching up like what you done against Sheffield United, where it's a quick one along the ground to strike. Great, no problem at all. But yeah, it just feels like at the minute the set pieces are going nowhere, and it's Fark is kind of being asked about it, and it's kind of been like, yeah, we're working on him and training, but it's like, well, then what he's working on? Like, is it time that we bring in a set piece coach? Because it's getting to a stage now, it's getting ridiculous, isn't it? We're and even defending set pieces as well. For me, we always look ropey. We can do it, but we just don't look 100% confident. It's like every time they get one in around the box or they have a corner, it's like, this is where they're going to get one from, isn't it?
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, we tried a couple of near post flick-ons, didn't we?
Yeah.
Against Millwall, if you notice, and then with Tanaka coming into the back post. So I think they are trying to mix it up a little bit. It's just maybe we haven't got the personnel. I mean, when was the last time we scored a header from a corner? I can't remember now.
We can see us getting a penalty.
Byram got one last season, didn't he? Byram got one from a header last season. Byram got one, and then
Yeah.
yeah, it was Byram last season. Then I can think back to Cooper. Then Cooper the opening day when he got injured. So not
Cardiff.
many,
We were at that
not
one.
many at all at Cardiff. Yeah, but Byram definitely got one last season. The lads in the chat we know, but he definitely got one from a corner. I think it was Byram was the last time he actually got one from a header. So yeah, like what you said, Sean, is it time to kind of shake it up a little bit when it comes to set pieces, putting a Gilavogie on, especially against the likes of Millwall. Are we ever going to outdo them on set pieces? No, I don't think so. But maybe defending set pieces with Gilavogie the man to kind of mark Cooper and kind of pull him off a little bit, 100%.
Exactly.
I don't think Rodon and Strike done enough to kind of. And
Exactly,
it kind of pains me a little bit because we all have this idea of Rodon that he's this big roaring kind of centre half, that hard kind of hitting man. He's not really, lads, is he? He's not really. I know he's kind of powerful. For me, his best attributes is actually reading the game. He reads the game very, very well and comes out and wins the ball and nicks it. I think he's great at that, but his passing, for me, is still poor. He definitely needs to improve on that, and especially when we go to the Premier League, lad, it's massive that his passing comes up, because if we are going to play out from the back in the Premier League and he's not going to pass 5-yard passes out of play, it needs to improve. And his heading as well at times as well, for the lump of a lad that he is, his heading is very poor as well from set pieces. Even when it kind of seems like when he's going up to win a header, there's no kind of direction. It's just putting his head on it, and wherever it goes, it goes. So definitely something we need to improve on centre half wise.
And with Rothwell, we've only really got Rothwell who can take him, and he's obviously, is he right-footed? So you'd have an in-swinger, then you'd have an out-swinger. Depending on which side of the pitch taking the corner from as well. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We haven't got that. We haven't got a couple of players who we can interchange the set piece.
Because we've tried it for a long time, haven't we? Like, we've tried it when we've seen Nanto going out taking them. Obviously, Somerville took a few last season. Aronson's gone out to take a few as well. Rotwell, it kind of seems to be that there wasn't really an actual set piece taker, and you kind of need that in every side, don't you? Someone that can actually put the ball into the box, whether it's from a corner and a free kick. And I do think we have that a little bit more with Rotwell, but it just feels like it's just not clicking there. There's no real kind of impetus there. We never really look dangerous from set pieces and from corners, and we obviously know now that we don't have a set piece coach. And is it time that Leeds United look at that and say, we need someone to come in and literally just take the players, whether it's 10-15 minutes at the end of every training session, and just work on it with them, because it hasn't improved at all. And we were saying the same thing last season, and that's the worrying thing, that it's still carrying on to this season, because it's just them 1%ers like the other night against Millwall. It could just be a set piece that,
not even
gone on
last
a long
season.
time.
This is going on a good few years. Like, it's time to bring someone in. Like, if Leeds get a corner, we've gradually moved up the pitch and got us on the edge of the seat. So when a corner is, like, we're all expecting, like, ready for this. Like, I don't know about you, but when Leeds are taking a corner, I'm just kind of like, there's no excitement to it. There's no, you're going to see Rodon or Strike. Like, Strike probably the only one that can, for me anyway, impact from a corner. If I'm being honest, it's the only one that I can see over the last few years that's not made a huge impact, but he's definitely made an impact.
It feels like he's the only one that can kind of get on the end of it, isn't it?
And it's very annoying, but definitely I agree with you. We need a set piece coach, 110%. All the hard work of getting up that far up to the pitch, you know what I mean, and whatever, not
just wasting it,
and hitting it off the defender goes out for a corner. You can hear Ellen Road erupt, clapping, and Nanto Rowell jogging over to get the ball. Put your body on the line here. Get this into the net. You've got this close. Now finish it off.
Yeah, do something.
They need to work on something when it comes to that situation.
You might as well just play short.
Yeah, exactly. And have
you might as well just play short and we'll build from there. But
because do you remember Guardiola at Barcelona? Barcelona were obviously the small side in their prime. Do you remember they obviously had Messi, David Villa, unbelievable front line, and nearly every corner under Guardiola, he always played it short just to keep possession and keep the ball. And if it is a thing where we just haven't got the personnel, like what you said, Sean, to put the ball in the box, well then don't do it then. Change it up a little bit where there is a short corner, and then you can get your ball into the box then when you create a better angle and move it around a bit. If it's just not happening direct, whipping the ball into the box, or trying to play a short, just try and change it up a little bit, because it doesn't seem to be working. And it is these little 1%ers. There's going to be games like that again through the season where we're just going to be hard to break teams down, especially these low blocks, lads. For me, I think it's only going to get more and more as the season goes on and it comes down to crunch times, and especially the likes of these QPRs come to the end of the season where they'll be happy coming at Ellen Road and nicking a point. They're just going to put 10 men behind the ball and frustrate the life out of us and try and get out of there. Set pieces then becomes absolutely crucial, because that's that 1%er that might see us over the line, might see us actually get the win, and that's where it's worrying for me that the questions are starting to be asked a little bit from Daniel Farke. 100% not Daniel Farke out, but I just think over the last couple of weeks the performance has dipped a little bit. The tempo isn't there. Set pieces. It's just gradually these little questions are starting to kind of come in now, isn't it, about Daniel Farke? And we're obviously been a lot of mentions about the Premier League as well, and there's just that worry there at the minute, isn't there, that the performance just haven't been 100%. What do you think?
We can't be. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Joe.
What, the performance haven't been good?
Yeah, like, do you think the performance, like, we haven't really kind of hit them heights yet, have we? I know Plymouth we won 3-0, but did it really feel like it was the complete performance that we dominated them? I don't think so. We definitely took our foot off the gas. Very similar Coventry as well. Dominated them 3-0, but didn't really feel like the complete performance. It just feels like the performance haven't really got to the levels we expected our team. Or are we overrating this team? Do we think this team are better than what they are?
Yeah, well, I think that's a frustrating thing, isn't it? It's we know how good we can be because we've played really well, and the levels they're either up here or they're down here.
Yeah,
it's not sort of anywhere in between. It's got to be consistent, and it's not. We're not being consistent, you know. And I think there is another level.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll listen to obviously Joe and Joe what we were on about, and I think Joe said it. There is another level to go, and we haven't hit it yet. And maybe that is because of the injuries. Ramazani missing, obviously Solomon coming back to full fitness. And I've said it before. We have that level, and we haven't got it there yet, but we will do. And it's just frustrating because we're dropping points now as well. So
yeah.
I can see it. I can see us hitting it, but I do think we probably need Ramazani back because I think he was obviously fantastic for us, and
he was, yeah.
And it has dropped off. I mean, look at the Bristol City game that I went to. I mean, that was so bad.
Yeah. Travelling all that way as well. I felt for you that day. As soon as the final was split, I was like, Sean travelled all that way for that.
I was trying to spot you in the crowd. You're raging.
I was waving. No, but it just, if we want to get out of this division, we need to up his levels, and it's got to be every game. It can't be a game, then drop, game, then drop.
We just need to be
100 mile an hour for 90 minutes.
No, of course not. Yeah,
I can see why sometimes we do just take us foot off the gas because, like I say, we were 3-0 up against Plymouth. You know, you can't be going at 100 mile an hour all the time, but it's got to be spurts, you know, stops and starts. You've got to see it during the game. And like I say, against Millwall, we just didn't see it. And that's worrying because it does remind us of the last few games of last season where we were just trying the same thing over and over and over again, and it didn't work because teams had figured us out by then.
Yeah, and that's the fear that I'm getting to. That's what I was kind of touching on.
That's the fear.
The fear as the season goes on, the low block is going to get harder to kind of break down, and that's where that little 1%ers like set pieces or to change it up in personnel. We can't just be going home and go Barnford, Pirro, Joseph, everyone get on the pitch there and try and get us a goal. That's not going to work, lads. Might work once all season, but it's not going to work every single week, and then it becomes very predictable that teams know, well, here comes the cavalry, they're just throwing everyone on the pitch here, and it just causes more chaos than what it's worth. So.
But how we play sometimes creates a low block. It makes the other team go into a low block. And some teams are better at defending a low block, i.e. Millwall, than others. So we have to be smarter in how we play. It's not the opposition, it's how we are playing that determines. If you
Tanaka was doing a little bit when he came in. We don't really seem to have that. Like, we always kind of go back to Phillips where, you know, we kind of get the ball and it's moved quick. It's a crossfield pass to kind of get us in behind. It always feels like it's slow, turn, pass it across, walk it up the pitch. There's no real kind of turn, and right there's the pass and it's gone. Tanaka was doing a little bit, especially against Sheffield United. He tried to do it. Do you think that it's an instruction from Daniel Farke that no, I don't want them long ball? Like, it's a 50-50 ball. It's we were all kind of taught as kids, and once the ball kind of goes long like that, anyone can kind of win it. But I think there is times where it needs to be changed up, where just maybe it is a turn out by Rotwell and Tanaka and it's gone. Even a strike, you know, just to try and get him in behind. It always kind of feels like it's like we have to play kind of through the lines all the time. And exactly what you said, Sean, we put teams into the low block because we're constantly working our way up the pitch. It pushes down back where if they are out, maybe there's time just to turn it and, like, you know, send James long. And no, we don't want to see that kind of long ball football. But here and there, just trying to change it up a little bit. So agree with you what you're saying there.
I think Tanaka, to be honest, should be higher up the pitch. I'd like to see him kind of, like I said,
there's definitely a shout there.
The 10.
At the moment, we don't have the luxury of that. But yeah, there's a shout there. If when Aberdeen comes back in, I wouldn't mind seeing him being a little bit more progressive. 100%. Yeah.
100%. I think he'd be just quick football when he turns, mills it. It's gone, you know. And I think that's kind of what we're lacking this year. No disrespect to
this year, I've noticed this a lot from Tanaka, hasn't he? Yeah.
To Aronson, lads. Aronson has been very good this season. I haven't forgiven him. He still has redemption. He still has, I think, 20 goals or something before he back into my good graces. But I just think there's a shout there, maybe for Tanaka to go into that 10, or, you know, as Sean said, even Nanto. We just be nice to see a change on that aspect of it. You know, like Aronson's doing the running. Don't get me wrong, but it's sad to say. I'd say I think we're all missing roar in that 10.
Just times we're just lacking a little bit, isn't it? Just a little bit. Like, Aronson's great at the pressing and the tendency of the game, but he's just not. He's
the fact that he actually, for a manager to turn around and say he's running too much. Do you know what I mean? The fact that say that.
There's times you can, there's times you can be, yeah.
He's running too much, like he loves.
I'd love to see it, exactly what Sean. I'd love to see Nanto in the 10, lads. I'd love to see it. James one side, Solomon and Nanto in the 10 would just be. But then exactly what Sean said, then you can't be going with Pirro because Nanto's not going to give you that, you know, that press that Aronson does. It has to be Joseph down up top and let him kind of do that. So there's different personnel with so many options. I just hope it clicks at some stage. And I suppose it's always going to be hindsight, isn't it? When he tries something that doesn't work, we're all going to say, well, he should have tried this. But Sean, I want to put a question to you because I did put it to Matty then the other night on the final point. The situation with Joseph and Pirro at the minute seems like it's ebbing and flowing. That, you know, one week people are saying Pirro, or others are saying Joseph. This is the game for Pirro, this is the game for Joseph, and it doesn't really seem like anyone is kind of taking to the heights. You know, Pirro has the goals, but his performance just hasn't hit that kind of level yet. A lot of people have said in the chat, especially Danny Talk Sport, has a thought that Patrick Bamford might be back in January. What your thoughts on that one? I kind of know what you think of Patrick Bamford, but can you foresee it that if these two don't up their levels, is there a shout that Patrick Bamford might be back in the lineup?
Yes. Because if the other two aren't performing, then and Bamford's fit, I could see Farke putting him back in. And look, that's up to Bamford then to prove that he wants to be here. He wants a place. He wants the number 9 shirt still. I just can't see him doing it. But
his body as well won't let him. The injury record.
His body won't let him. And exactly. So yes, I could see a situation where he does. Ideally, for me, we get another number 9 in January as well. If Pirro and Joseph aren't doing it, but I do think it's just how we're playing. I think it's our tactics. I don't think it's the personnel. I think it's just the way we play. We have got the players, you know. I would like to, I don't know. I can see it happening. I could see it happening. Yeah.
It's like exactly what you said there. It's like when
we're playing. Bamford leaving in January, so he's going to be here till end of season. And
I've seen it there online. He ain't leaving. I think 44 grand sitting on the bench. he ain't going anywhere.
I think I do a better job now, to be honest with you. Send me up top. I'll show you how it's done.
It's just his consistency and just not being fit. He's always just in and out, isn't he? Whether I think we've seen it was a groin, but it ended up being an illness. But it always kind of seems like he's in and out of the squad like all the time, doesn't it? So I feel like it's kind of getting that. We're definitely not there yet. I'm not saying starting, but I just feel like the longer that this goes on with the Pirro and Joseph situation, that Farke might go, right, maybe I do give Paddy a start and see what he does. And especially thinking back to that 13-1 beating run last season at the turn of the year, will that start going? And Daniel Farke said, well, look, maybe we are better with Patrick up front. And we'll just hope we don't get to that stage.
I spoke about this yesterday on not another Leeds podcast, about the Bamford situation. I would love it, like in a happy ending situation, you know, because it's, as Sean said, he's not going in January, but he will probably leave at the end of the season.
Yeah,
he's the last one kind of for the Bielsa era. I know you could say strike, but I mean that kind of
the old
gladiator, the old guard, So I would love for him to kind of give us that redemption arc. You know, come
Finish
out
on
and
a high.
finish on a high. It would just give us, you know, I think it's a bit mad throwing it out there saying he's a Leeds legend, but it would be good to see him lift the trophy, you know, considering how long he's been here and seeing him finish off it, you know, his Leeds career of Leeds getting promoted back to the Premier League. But at the minute, he just hasn't been showing that, you know, as I said, going back to that podcast, and I know lads had said it before to me that he was doing that well before. You know, I think he's doing this like these 3
Yeah,
years
he's
or
doing,
something.
he's
This
doing it well,
podcast.
yeah.
But there's a time and a place to be bringing stuff about the Leeds fans and all. I keep saying it every week. It's a negative impact on the club because then you've news articles, you've journalists throwing it out there. The likes of myself, Sean, and you, scrolling through, coming across, putting us in a
Saying
bad
why,
form.
yeah, why has he said this, why has he
It's a
said that?
negative impact. You shouldn't be, like, I'm not saying you shouldn't be on the podcast. You should be out training and getting yourself uninjured for 45 grand a week,
football.
and you're there talking on a camera. You know, I just think it's a bit disrespectful to the club. It's disrespectful to the fans. You know, get the finger out of your hole and start putting performances in. I know, I have to be honest, I know that's a bit harsh to say it like that, but like,
It's true, it's true, Dilo, though. You're right, exactly right what you're saying. And, you know, it's all right, everybody's saying, you know, start Bamford, but I think you're exactly right. His head's not right at the minute, and he don't look interested. And like I say, he's going on podcasts and he's laughing and joking.
But it's gonna end two ways for him here. He can either, at the end of the season, he's gonna get just pure dogs abuse out the fans. Now, as I said before, I'm putting that out there. I do not condemn any death threats or anything. That's completely wrong. But fans do have opinions, but opinions in the right form. You don't be going threatening people like death threats. No, that's completely wrong. It's out of order. But if he's not performing and he's not making the effort, well then yeah, you're gonna get criticism. That's unfortunate. That's the job that you're in. You're gonna get criticised. But I'd love for him to just prove us all wrong. Like this time next year, you know, maybe if he is still here, we can turn around and go, remember Bamford last year? He don't fuck all in the first whatever couple of games, but now all of a sudden now he's had to turn it around. It would be just great for us as the fans to go, right, like,
I don't care who scores goals, who comes on, as long as we're winning and Leeds United get promoted this season. Exactly. I don't care who's doing it. And if Bamford does it, fair play, hold my hands up. Yeah. But he still needs to do it.
It's the same. It's the same sort of situation.
We would like to see him do it, though. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. But how many chances have we given him, Dylan? That we've always said, right, give it back to Bamford, and we've always been like, right, here he's on a roll. Same thing as last season. I think we were all very surprised that he kind of went on, you know, that 13-game run. He was definitely helping that side. His movement is definitely top class. That can't be questioned. But his finishing is just horrendous. We've seen a Stoke last season, the penalty. I feel like there's more times that Bamford lets you down. There's more times that he wins your games, and I think that's the problem. And exactly what Sean said. At the minute, Bamford's just giving me the vibes that he doesn't really care. He just, even when he comes on, it doesn't seem like he's really kind of into it and wants it. It feels like he's kind of just sauntering a little bit. So I don't think he's fully behind the project whatsoever. I do think he does want out, but the other side of it is that he's just happy enough here to pick up a wage. I do get where you're coming from, Dylan, that it's at the end of the season that it would kind of be the perfect send-off from if we do get
just
promoted.
I'm talking about in a happy ending situation.
Yeah, I know, a happy ending where he can kind of contribute a little bit, you know what I mean? And we can kind of send him off and go, right, yeah, you're not a Leeds legend, but like thanks for your services, and kind of move on now. So I understand where you're getting it with that, but I just think now at the minute is with Pirlo and Joseph not fully kind of nailing down the spot, none of them kind of nailing down the number 9 saying, right, this is my shirt. That I just do feel like as the weeks go on, if it does continue, now look at one or two of them could put in the performance over the next couple of weeks and nail down the spot, and that's grand perfect. But I just feel the way it is at the minute that it's gradually getting to a stage where I might see Patrick Bamford coming back into the squad, and Danny was saying it weeks ago, and it feels like it could get there.
Would it be fair to say though that, like, apart from Rafinha, the legend and unbelievable footballer that he is, like what players are like from the Bielsa era are doing well in their career right now? And now, as I said, apart from Rafinha.
Like, yeah, that's right. Yeah, there's not many, is there?
No, you know what I mean? And Bamford's the only one that's kind of left with the Leeds team, apart from Strike, because Strike was a lot younger back then.
a lot younger.
He's
He
proven
wasn't
himself
fully
as a
part of kind of the
Same as
promotion
Somerville.
squad, though, wasn't he?
Yeah,
No, he
but
was more
same as
Premier
Somerville
League.
last year. It was all Bielsa's aftermath, if that makes sense. And Bamford seems to be the last one at that. But look at Phillips. You look at your Alioski. There's players that are retired. There's players that are just probably playing non-league football at this stage. Youths that we thought were going to go somewhere, and look where they are now.
He just pushed. He pushed them all. Yeah, he pushed them all to the edge. To me, I just think he broke Bamford. To be honest with you, the injuries that he had, lads. Even when you think back to Bamford's first season, I think it was a game Bolton. He came back in after he done his ACL. Like, people forget them injuries as well. When he first came into Leeds, he done his ACL. He didn't play for months for us as well, lads. And that was, I think, under Bielsa's regime, and he was constantly injuries, whether it was hamstrings, grinds, it was everything. He was constantly breaking down. Didn't he have he had Achilles surgery at one stage as well. Like, it's mental when you look across his whole career, Leeds United, the amount of injuries that he has had, and not just like little niggles here and there. They've been big like that, surgeries, ACLs, everything. So
this is why we've got to, they've got to stop. We've got to stop thinking Bamford's going to be the player he used to be, because he isn't anymore.
No, he's not. 100%.
He can't press like he used to. He's not fit enough to do it. There's always that injury that he's going to run too much and get injured. Silly little knocks. Happens all the time. Even if he comes in and says we give him 5-game run in the team, scores a couple of goals, but guarantee he'll be injured again after 5 games. It's one of those we can't. I don't think we can risk putting Bamford in at the minute.
No.
I think he's a good option off the bench. I wanted him to come on against Millwall because I thought we needed that experience up top, and he can mix it up, can Bamford?
Yeah, he can. Yeah,
and he's a bit of a shit house as well, so he likes to, and that's why I wanted Gilavogi to come on again, another experienced player. We needed that bit of experience against a team like Millwall, and that's again why I said I was happy Bamford came on. I didn't like the formation change, but injuries from Celtic. Yeah,
do you remember that? You remember he pulled his hamstring?
It is, isn't it? Though?
It was typical Bamford. He was out, wasn't he? He was out for a couple of weeks. We got him back in, and then did we draw? Did he nick it? Wasn't it a draw? Can't remember who it was against. It was definitely he nicked the draw, didn't he? And then he went running around the south stand and pulled his hamstring. Like,
that's what. Yeah, it's once you start, and especially with your hamstrings, and I know that you're never the same player anymore. Once your hamstrings start going and you get up these little knocks and, the reoccurring injuries.
I think we just put him in to wind you up, mate. I just say start Bamford now just to wind Mike up.
Yeah.
Put him in.
Can he do it for 90 minutes?
No, he can't. No,
he
definitely not.
Oh, Sean, I do a better job for 90 minutes. And I'm overweight and I've no ACL at all. If I'm being honest with you.
But he's a good experienced player, and if we can use him and we can get him in at some point, like you say, on the 70th minute or something, just to mix it up and give us a different option. Not just throw him on 85th minute, 80th minute, and just hope
expecting him to do something. Yeah.
And that's what it is. We're hoping for the best. It's no good. There's got to be a plan to use him properly.
It's never felt like, though, with Bamford that every time he has came on, and it's obviously a lot more in the last season or two, that he's coming on as subs. It never really feels like when he is being brought on as a sub that he's going to kind of impact the game or get a goal. It's like, even in Sheffield United when he was brought on, it never really feels like, oh yeah, he's going to like give us a little bit here. He's definitely, for me, better starting games, isn't he, rather than kind of coming on. But then where does it come to a situation where we're back to saying Patrick Bamford has to start games then? So
what I do like about him, though, is he is a clever player. And when he does come on and you watch him, it pulls defenders. So that's creating space for other players, which he's always been good at. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah. Hope we don't get there. Hope we don't get to that situation.
We don't want to rely on him.
No, we don't want to rely on him. No, we don't want to get to that situation. Hopefully, Pirro and Joseph, either or, can kind of pick up that level a little bit and kind of nail down that number 9 spot. I hope it does come to that 100%, because I can't deal with Patrick Bamford coming back in. Yeah,
Pirro's doing fine for me. I just think it's how we're playing. We're not getting.
We need to play more. Yeah, more to his strengths, isn't it? Yeah, 100%
we need to play more to his strengths.
Not the ball to his feet. Not trying to get him to create. Get the ball wide. Put the ball in the boxes. Give him a chance in the box, lads. He's scoring goals, isn't he? Every day of the week.
That goal against Plymouth, beautiful.
Yeah.
Love that.
Even the one before, I know he was offside for it, but
The Millwall.
was it the Millwall, the one off the post? No, was it? It was the one off the post against was it Plymouth? The one where Bamford, where Byron played in the side of his foot. He caught it on the volley. It was off the post. He was ruled out for offside. He was very, very close, but it just shows he has that like one touch, one go. And if we can get the ball to Pirro, he will put the ball in the back of the net. But it's exactly what you said, Sean. We need to be playing to his strengths. We need to be putting the ball in the box, not to his feet, getting him to kind of turn because he's no touch. He can't play through balls. It's just not his game whatsoever. So I know Danny will say that he didn't play. He played in the 10 at Swansea as well. For me, he needs to be that number 9. He's not going to give you the press. If we're going to start him, then it has to be Aronson. But hopefully today is one of them days where it kind of all clicks up here. I'd love to see him get 2 or 3 today. It'd be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, it'd be nice today.
He didn't play in the 10 for Swansea. This is a bit of a myth. It were
isn't it? Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
It was like a false 9. It wasn't a 10. It were. If you look at his stats, he's actually played more times up front than he has as a 10.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of the myth. He isn't a 10. It is a sort of a false 9.
Yeah, false 9, fox in the box. That's what. Yeah, we should just be playing.
And that's it. And we just need to get the ball to him. Yeah. And that's the same with Matthew Joseph as well. You know, we need to get the ball to him because they can both score goals.
Yeah,
they're both good finishers.
I do feel sorry on Joseph, to be honest with you. I really, you can see him. He's eager. He's, it's there. It's just, the finish isn't there.
Still learning, though, isn't he? Is Mario Joseph?
Yeah, he's still learning.
Still learning, and
he's a great player. He
definitely is an all rounder. He's 100%. If he can keep improving and going the way he is in his career, he'll be a top striker. Especially if he can get the finishing right, he will be quality. And you can't see it in him. That even what was the one where Solomon played it run across the front post, lovely little tap in, and then he scored the midweek as well for Spain as well. Same sort of run across the front post. He definitely had.
Sheffield.
Where did that goal come from? The Joseph.
From the
Solomon getting to the byline and getting that ball in,
getting the ball in the box,
and we've stopped doing it. It's cutting in all the time. Solomon, like I said against Millwall, we're doing it all the time, cutting in. Let's get to that byline and get the ball in.
Yeah.
Hard and low. Or pulling it back. We'll see. I think we'd see more goals, especially from midfield as well.
Yeah, I think just change it up a little bit. 100% agree with you.
You just love to see like Rotwell have a shove outside the box and go straight at the top corner.
That's what he's good at. That's what he's good at, and we're not giving him, we're not even setting him up.
Do you feel it's like we're trying to walk the ball into the net every time? Like a side foot pass.
We're trying to score cute goals all the time.
Yeah, it's always the perfect goal. Yeah, always the perfect goal.
Yeah. I think Nonto sometimes does that. He's wanting to do what Somerville did last season, especially coming in off the left. He's trying to replicate that all the time. You don't have to. Let's just put your foot through it.
Just put your foot through at times. Yeah, have a pop. Yeah, don't be afraid. 100%. Leeds Tribe says here, I think it's frustrating thing for everyone that we are seeing the same things that happened last season are happening this season. Feels like Fark hasn't actually learned from any of it, and that's where I think we're all coming from, isn't it? Is that we know there's been flaws in this squad, and there was last season. It was still enough to get us out of this division. He didn't. I think across the whole squad is definitely better quality, and it seems like them things still haven't changed. It's still kind of the same sort of losses. We're still not good from set pieces. He still kind of puts the handbrake on. So I agree with Leeds Tribe there. I feel like Daniel Farke is just, he hasn't learned from mistakes. And is he ever? Because Bielsa he was notorious for it as well. He just never changed. He stuck to his principles, and it might just be one of them things where Farke never learns.
Well, he needs to, because things don't go well soon, then
Boy, Spain's
exactly. Yeah, look what he does for the Spain under 21.
Banging them in. Yeah. Right, lads, anything else to add before we wrap it up? We're on the hour there now.
Yeah, we're going up.
Yep.
So we all confident today then. Good performance, good result.
Yeah, definitely. 100%. We're going to do it. I'm going to take a page of Matty's big, massive confidence book. And,
careful now. Remember what happened to him now.
No, we're going up, and I don't care. I actually do feel. I think we'll bounce back. I think we'd be all mad not to agree with that, without being overconfident, without just wearing that Leeds hat. QPR. I think we'll do well. Yeah. I genuinely think we'll do well.
100%. Yeah, I agree with you. Right, Sean, tell the people what's going on in WilksoWhites. Anything interesting coming up?
No, not at the minute. No, I'm just going to do some match reviews, match previews. Also, I've got I'm in contact with a few other channels, so I'm probably going to go on their channels as well.
Oh, lovely. Nice.
Hopefully next few weeks. So, and then I'm looking and thinking of doing my first live. Hopefully you boys will come on and help me. So
yeah,
that'll be interesting. Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that. I've never done it, so I want to get that all set up and yeah, that's it really.
Love
Just
it.
keep doing what we're doing.
Love it. Yeah, lads, pop across to Sean WilksoWhites and hit the subscribe button and show the love. New on the Leeds content sphere the way we all are. So what else have we got here? I don't think we missed out on any of the comments. Sean said great stream, lads. Yeah, right, boys, we'll leave it there. Look, before you go off the video, don't forget to smash a like on the video, hit subscribe, and we will be back then for an instant match reaction later on. Hopefully, Leeds United after picking up 3 points and a decent performance.
Me and your rubber as well.
Yeah, that's me young lad's christening today. He's getting christening now at 1 o'clock, and the wife just keeps popping her head in the door going, you're right, you're right. So I better get going before she kills me, lads. But look, thanks for popping in. Yeah, I know. Sean, thanks for popping in, buddy. Really, really appreciate it, and it's good to have you in, and we'll definitely be getting you on again in the future. Really nice to have you. So again, lads, pop across to Sean and WilksoWhites, show the love, hit the subscribe button, and we'll chat to you all soon, alright?